What is up, everybody? It's your boy. You already know. The topic of discussion today is going to be discipline. So a lot of people think discipline is being motivated or being driven, and that's a good part of it, you know. But really, being disciplined is consistency, right? You wanna really practice discipline. It really shows you who you are when you don't want to do something, right? Motivation is different because it's like, okay, I see something outside of me that triggers this response, therefore I will do something that I've been trying to tell myself to do for a minute. That's motivation. Discipline is, okay, I know that I have to do this to yield the results that I want. Even though I don't want to do it right now, I'm still going to do it. That is discipline. That's what it is, and that's the wonderful thing about it. Now, an example that I love to use is the gym, because you know, I'm a little bit of a gym rat. I like going to the gym. I wouldn't say I'm a gym rat. Like, I'm not really obsessed, but I know my stuff, okay? So when I first started going to the gym, like how everyone else starts, you get motivated. Whether it's because you want to lose weight or gain muscle, gain weight, whatever you want to do, you see something on you that you are not a fan of, that you're not too fond of, and you're like, okay, let me change this, right? Good on you. You're taking the time and putting the energy into doing something that will benefit you. Nice, good job, right? Like everyone else, you start off motivated. First week, second week, maybe a month, and you know you're starting to see some things, right? But then you realize, like, damn, I'm gonna have to do this for like ever. I'm gonna do this for a minute, right? Until I get to where I want to get, and then you start to get tired, and then you start to say, you know, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, or maybe I'll do it the next day, or maybe next week. You know, I'll put it off. And it's like next week comes, the next day comes, and you're like, damn, like I'm slacking, I'm doing horrible, this and that. Like I'm getting whatever it is, I'm losing weight or losing muscle, I'm gaining weight, whatever it is that your struggle is, right? Now, what do? You avoid that by just pushing yourself. You literally have to force yourself to do things. You have to do things that you don't want to do. That's a shocker, right? You got to force yourself to do things that you want to do. It's a part of the adult life, by the way. You have to put in that work, man. If you want to get those results in, you have to force yourself to just go to the gym. Do it while you're tired. There used to be days where I just would not go to the gym in the past because I was just too tired. And you know, then I realized, like, my girlfriend went to the gym, right? And she works a very it's like I would say mentally draining, right? Everyone's been mentally drained before. That's a different type of fatigue, right? Mentally drained. But it's a very mentally draining job. She's a manager and whatnot, cool stuff. And she still manages to go to the gym at like 10 o'clock, you know, 10 p.m. And especially now when it's cold outside, it's like, bro, fuck that. Like, you know? And I think it was like beginning of the year, because I was going through, what was it? I used to go later, but beginning of the year, that's when I was like slacking a little bit. I was like, damn, I'm not gonna go, dude. I'm too tired, whatever. And I look at her, I'm like, she's going and she's tired. I'm like, bro, like, what am I doing? Let's lock in. Let's do this, right? And now, ever since, I've been pushing myself to go, you know, after work or even on my days off when I don't feel like doing anything, because that's what you want to do. You want to show yourself that you are in charge, not your body, not those intrusive thoughts saying, oh, let me you know, let's just do it tomorrow, you know, or maybe, you know, let's just delay this a little bit, maybe next week, we'll start again next week. You want to delay those thoughts, because then it's like, who has the power? Who's in charge? What voice is in charge? You know, is it the body or the mind? Like, who are you trying to, who's the command center, you know? And if you guys are, some people are okay with that. They're okay with like living by like their bodily urges, I guess. I don't know. But you want to decide, like, who do you want to be? And that's like, that comes down to something really personal. It's a personal question you're gonna have to ask yourself, you know. I didn't mean get too deep, but you do want to ask yourself, like, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to be known for? You know, you might not be known for discipline or going to the gym, but it definitely does work its way into that. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't even build up the discipline to go to the gym, then you won't be able to do certain other things, like showing up for people even when you don't want to, or showing up for events or whatever, even if you don't want to, you know? So it leaks over to your life. You don't want it to leak over to your life. If it does leak over to your life, you want it to leak over in a positive way. And that, honestly, discipline with the gym is one thing, right? There's discipline that you can practice when it comes to improving your mental and emotional states, right? When it comes to not recently, I guess this year I started reading a lot more. You know, I graduated college like last year, and really no reason to read outside of like, you know, just for myself, right? After I graduated, and it's been a thing that I wanted to do because I felt like an idiot, bro. When I picked up a book, it's like, dude, I could not like stare at the page, stare at these words and envision anything for more than like 10 minutes. It was embarrassing. I felt like an idiot. And, you know, now it's like, dude, I'm sitting down reading for as long as I want to until I got to get up and do something else. You know what I'm saying? And now I feel more like cognitively like good. You know, I'm there to an extent, right? So it feels nicer when you do that. Emotionally, when it comes to emotional discipline, that could be your triggers, right? So what triggers your emotional responses? What's a good example? If you have a like shitty coworker at a job, right, and you're constantly diving into that emotional response of just showing annoyance or I guess what is it, irritation or frustration or whatever every time they're around, and you realize idiot, you realize that that's not, you know, good. That's not quality. Who would want to live in an annoyed state constantly? You know what I'm saying? No one. That's you choosing to ignore, at least not the feeling, because you can ignore feelings for sure, but at least ignoring the response. If you can cut off at the response first and then build up, that's a perfect thing to go to, right? That's because then you're building up your emotional tolerance, and now you're more in control of your emotions. Right, so I went through the body, I went through the mind, I went through the emotions. Also, it's like progressive overloading, right? I'm not sure if I don't think I mentioned in this video, but it's like progressive overloading. When you are trying to have discipline, if you don't know what progressive overloading is, it's like a gym term. I think you can use it for most things, really. But progressive overload is when you are, I guess like it's really what it's called. You are progressively upping the ante. You know, you are making things more difficult slowly, like as time goes by, right? That's what progressive overload is. So as time goes by, you want to slowly make things more difficult, because your threshold goes up. As humans, we are masters at adapting, right? If you stay in the same place for too long, you will stagnate. You will not change. All right, even if that place is better than where you were before, you will stagnate. And hitting a plateau is not fun for anyone, regardless of which level you're at, you know. But it's like when you go to the gym and you want to do like 3 sets of 10 for something, right? It's 3 sets of 10 bicep curls, 20 pounds. Boom, right? Now, a month later, you're like, okay, this feels a little light. Let me bring it up to 25. Let me bring it up to 30, right? Now you're doing 3 sets of 12, 30 pounds. Boom. Like, and then you keep going up and up and up. All right, I wouldn't suggest going too high. You're going to tear your bicep. But sir, like, for the example, you're going up and up and up, right? That's basically what progressive overloading is. What you want to do with things that I just mentioned, whether it be the gym, whether it be the reading, whether it be how you deal with the relationships, is progressively overload your responses to it. I don't think that's the right thing. Progressively overload, obviously in the gym. When it comes to reading, if you read for like 10 minutes, you know, maybe start reading for 20, maybe then go to 30, you know. When it comes to the emotional thing, I don't have an example for that. I'd say just like, you know, try to limit your responses to said person in that example that I mentioned. You know, it's like, okay, well, I handled this good twice today. Yeah, maybe next time I'll handle it good 4 times, you know, tomorrow. We'll see. That's all for the video. That's all I gotta say about discipline. You know, don't feel bad if you do slip up from time to time here and there, but have the balls, I guess, for lack of a better term, have the balls to say like, okay, let's hop back on the horse. You know what I'm saying? At least have that kind of drive to want to get back onto it, because you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to do everything perfectly. We're all living this life once, first time living it, right? It's okay if you mess up, but just make sure you get back on that horse, get back to it the next day. All right. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good one, and I'm out.